Brooklyn Nets guard Dennis Schroder has been a major surprise in the fantasy basketball world, and today I'm here to show you why. So let's get into the film. Alright, how y'all doing, and welcome to FTR Basketball. And of course today we'll be talking about Dennis Schroder, who had 34 points, 11 assists, 3 rebounds on 68% shooting against the Milwaukee Bucks yesterday. And he had a phenomenal game, and he has been a huge surprise in this fantasy cycle. He is a top 25 point guard in multiple leagues, and he is creeping up in the season rankings as he's top 70 in Yahoo and ESPN rankings after this game yesterday. And something I love about Dennis Schroder is that, especially in head-to-head leagues, you need guys that do multiple things. Scoring is worth 1 point, rebounds are worth 1 point, but assists in multiple leagues are worth more than points and rebounds. Of course, steals and blocks, the most valuable things, but you need guys that do other things. And this season, Dennis Schroder is of course scoring the ball, averaging 18.5 points, but he's also averaging 6.5 assists, one of the best for especially guys that are around his ranking status. And here, Schroder is one of the quickest guards in the league. He penetrates, then he draws Damian Lillard over. He is 12th in the NBA in drives per game. And something that helps him is that the Brooklyn Nets are 4th in three-point percentage this season. He kicks out to Keon Johnson for the assist. And along with the penetration and the quickness, Dennis Schroder is also shooting 38% from 3 this season. Especially in the recent terms, Dennis Schroder has seen his value go up as the injury to Cam Thomas happened. His usage rate has gone up, but still, even with Cam Thomas, they were able to coexist together, and Dennis Schroder was still a pretty valuable guy. But of course, when opportunities open up, Dennis Schroder took advantage of it. Again, like I said, the quickness, 12th in drives in the NBA per game, a depth at finishing over bigger guys, something you need as a smaller guard here, finishing over Brook Lopez. And something that surprises a lot of people about Dennis Schroder is that this season, he's shooting 60% from the mid-range. And he's really good at taking advantage of mismatches. Of course, with that quickness, guys think that he's going to drive, so he sets it up right there with a crossover, and again, being a maestro from the mid-range. He also shows the ability occasionally to stretch the floor with very deep threes. And the crazy thing is that Dennis Schroder is still massively undervalued. He's only rostered in 77% of leagues, which is a lot, but in terms of the top 25 point guards, that is the lowest by far. So if you don't have Dennis Schroder and he's available, please pick him up, especially in this stretch without Cam Thomas. His usage rate has gone up, and still he's using his quickness to get those assists right here, blowing past Gary Trent Jr. He's drawing Giannis over. He's drawing Bobby Portis down with the roll from Nick Claxton. He's drawing Chris Middleton over. He has Gary Trent checking him. So he has 4 Bucks defenders checking him, and he's a really good passer, and he knows how to take advantage of these blow-bys and these drives and gets it out the door and Finney Smith for the 3. And we got the midi maestro at it again. Of course, not everything's going to go your way. You need a little bit of luck, and that's what you got here with the N1. All right, so here we're going to have the Nets using Dennis Schroder's quickness in a smart way. We got him coming off some Chicago action. Chicago action is a dribble handoff where the guy receives the pin down, then goes to the dribble handoff. So you're going to see Cam Johnson set this pin down screen on Andre Jackson Jr. Then Dennis Schroder is going to come out and receive this handoff from Nick Claxton. And the reason why I really like Dennis Schroder in this fantasy cycle, again, especially without Cam Thomas, is that the pieces around him and the assists are very valuable in a lot of leagues. Again, I said that the Brooklyn Nets are 4th in three-point shooting, so they have shooters. They have a premium shooter in Cam Johnson, but they also have a lob threat. They have vertical space, and Nick Claxton shoots 78% at the rim, and he gets the lob here. And as I said, he has a premium shooter in Cam Johnson. He shoots 43% from 3, and he's in a 96th percentile in three-point attempts per game, so Dennis Schroder doesn't have to worry about him passing up shots. Here we got Schroder again taking advantage of the mismatch. He's shooting 50% on step backs this season. Again, with him in the mid-range being so efficient, with him being so efficient in these mismatches where he can just use his quickness and rise up over guys. This is no match for Bobby Portis, and Schroder's putting on a show. And I'm just not worried about the sustainability of Dennis Schroder. Of course, not 34 points and 11 assists, but his averages of 18.5 and 6.5 assists. Dennis Schroder knows how to play the game of basketball. He's a veteran, and he's a guy that just knows how to use his quickness and his slight build, even at that, to use his body and to get his shot off. And teams are usually going to play drop against him because he's so quick, and he has a lob threat in Nick Claxton. So the big wants to get back, as Brook Lopez does here, backing up, trying to guard Nick Claxton and giving up the mid-range to Dennis Schroder. Alright, so here the Brooklyn Nets go to some blind pick action. Blind pick action is made to combat denying defense. So if you're trying to give somebody the ball, your main ball handler, or somebody to run some actions for you, and the defense is denying them, right? Blind pick action is when that's happening, you flash somebody under the person that's denying the ball on defense, and then you get into a dribble handoff under them, and then you can do a lot of stuff after that. So here, Keon Johnson trying to get the ball to Dennis Schroder right here, but watch what Gary Trent does. Gary Trent denies him the ball and forces Dennis Schroder to get all the way out to the logo. So the flash is going to happen with Nick Claxton. Claxton is going to come right here, and then he's going to catch the ball. He's going to get a pass from Keon Johnson, and Dennis Schroder's going to come over there. We got Gary Trent Jr. on this pass, denying the ball with Dennis Schroder at half court. Claxton comes up. They get right into a dribble handoff, and a phenomenal pass by Dennis Schroder to the other slot. Hits Keon Johnson for the three. And he is going to continue to do this over and over again, game after game, because of how the bigs play him, and he knows how to carve out space and create a shot. Again, we got the pick and roll, and Brook Lopez is worried about Nick Claxton, who had about 20 points in this game. If he's able to get Nick Claxton involved in this lob game and get him passes into the rim, and he's using his 78% from the rim percentage, the big is going to be worried about him and less worried about Schroder, and Schroder knows how to get his shot off one-on-one. And the midi maestro is at it all night. You got a screen right here from Nick Claxton, all ball screen. You see how far Bobby Portis is playing this for some reason. You're gonna have Schroder getting downhill at Bobby Portis, and if this screen is good, this is gonna force Andre Jackson to be behind him and lag behind him, and then Dennis Schroder use that to his advantage. So you got the screen, you got a good screen by Claxton. Schroder has a step on Andre Jackson, so all of his momentum is going forward. Watch what Schroder does to that. Snatch right back. The midi maestro at it again, and then and one mid-range off the snatch back. And lastly, we got no surprise here, him killing another mismatch and scoring through contact. And as I said, Dennis Schroder is climbing up the ranks, and his ranking does not match his roster percentage. So if you are in the league, make sure you check if you can pick up Dennis Schroder, as he will be a big help to your team. But this has been Nick of FTR Basketball. Leave a like, subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.